Hi, my name is Anna from Little Wings Sleep. We are certified sleep coaches who are here to meet your family exactly where you are, using a parent-present, gentle approach to teach your baby to sleep. But today I am talking to the grandparents, to the aunts, to the uncles, to the community members, to the people, to the close friends, to the best friends, to who everyone wants to be involved in the brand new baby's life. This video is for you. And so mamas, forward this guy on. The reason that I'm doing this video today is because a lot of moms feel like they have a message to give grandparents on how they can be most helpful, but are a little wary of giving that message or don't know how to word it. So I am going to tell you some well-learned lessons from my profession that can help you as a grandparent support a new mom and a new baby. You will find that a mom actually wants to be celebrated. They want to be supported, they want to have a community, but when you're having a baby, I don't know if you can remember this, if you've had a baby yourself, it's extremely overwhelming. If you're feeling overwhelmed when you're a new mom, generally you'll turn inward. And what that looks like is a mom may start wearing their baby constantly. No, you can't hold my baby, baby's in the wrap. Maybe mom starts declining invitations and we start not seeing mom as often. Or maybe she starts to just have very short conversations, and even though you may be holding baby, mom is not fully engaged because she's feeling overwhelmed. An overwhelmed mom, it's really hard because you have a full physical response. You're getting sweaty, your body is tingling, you can't concentrate. My husband used to always say to me whenever our baby was crying, he'd say, "Can't you hear me? Didn't you hear what I said?" And I was like, "No, I cannot hear you. I don't know what you said." And so he would need to wait until our baby is calm for me to be able to concentrate on him. But milk is coming in, especially if the baby is only a week or two old, you then get those uterus cramps as well, which are never fun. But I'm going to give you some tips today on how you can support this new mom in your life so that they don't feel overwhelmed and you're able to do an excellent job. The first tip is give space. Now, I am not talking about not going around to their mom's house waiting for her to call you, because she probably won't, and just avoiding it altogether. Nor am I talking about moving in with them and encroaching on every last bit of space that they have. We want to give them space so that they're able to thrive. And so what does this look like? We want to offer mom help. So when you give space to a mom, you're giving her permission to actually figure this out. They've got so much going on, and I know that you have a lot to give, but they're trying to navigate this as much as you are. And so sometimes we're afraid of offending each other, and then we can get hurt in the midst of it. And so there are some things that you can do while giving space. One of the things that you can do is ask before baby arrives, what can I do to help you in the first month that's going to be really helpful to you? When you ask a mom that, you're getting specifics, and so you have clear expectations and the mom has clear expectations. When those expectations are clear between both of you, mom is feeling calm because she knows what you're going to do, and you're feeling like you are charged with your duties and you're able to be the superhero of the day. In giving space, often I find is really hard because you want to be right in there. And so when they come to visit you or you're going to visit them, a good way that you can give mom space is actually offering. You can offer them a room. Would you like to go to this room so you can feed your baby? Not because you're uncomfortable with breastfeeding, but because if things are being rushed, it can make a mom really stressed. You can give her permission to leave if things aren't going well with baby. Sometimes moms actually really want to bolt, but we don't have the heart to tell you. So give them the option, give them space. The other thing is I would carry on with plans. So when my baby was little, I hated it when I was trying to put her to sleep and people would hold dinner until she was asleep. No, just have dinner, carry on, I'll be with you when she's calm. My first priority is her, not your lasagna. I'm sorry, it's just true. I've not eaten quite often because of baby, and so I'll see you in another 20 minutes. So if the whole family is waiting for baby to wake up, or waiting for baby to go to sleep, or waiting for a nursing session to finish, it makes a huge amount of pressure on mom. Especially when it comes to that, if mom is feeling anxious about that feeding or about putting baby to sleep, the baby is going to sense that, and going to sleep is much, much harder on a baby. So we need to make sure we're creating a calm environment where things are not rushed, where mom is not feeling like it all depends on her. She's got a baby to look after. She doesn't need to look after everyone else as well. She's already got one really big role that she's learning to play. Giving them that permission to have space in an event, around an event, then it actually makes them want to come out more. So if you want to see more of your grandkids, then give your kids healthy space. The second thing is to ask. I know that you have loads of great tips and great experience with your own kids and your friends' kids and your nieces and your nephews. However, with a new mom, they're getting advice left, right, and center. I've had people hire me simply so that they can blame it on me, and they can tell their family members to stop asking, stop telling them what to do. So when you ask, we're not telling, we're asking instead of telling. So instead of saying, have you tried rocking your baby? Because that's actually telling them, like you're actually saying, you should really rock your baby. That's gonna be what it is. Mom already knows instinctually that baby needs some rocking sometimes. That is already probably a part of her psyche. A helpful question is asking, what do you find suits your baby most? Is there anything I can get for you right now that would make this easier for you? Can I get you a glass of water? Especially for nursing moms, it's a really good one. Because even if we can get everyone de-escalated and helping, then you're able to actually be the best help, and mom will naturally ask you questions about your experience. So ask that way instead of telling them. So instead of using questions like telling, like, oh, well, in my baby, I always needed to pat, rock, and swing them this way, then, so you should try, have you tried that? You should say things like, so I understand that this is a little bit stressful for you. Can I get you anything? If I was to be calming your baby, what would you be telling me to do? The other thing is to ask before picking up the baby. Often people take away the baby, and I would never see my baby until they would think they were helping, and actually it wasn't helping at all. And it's really hard when you're in that situation and someone takes your baby away trying to calm it down, and you instinctually know that the one thing that your baby needs is mom. The one thing your baby needs is dad, or they need feeding. But sometimes when you are having a physical response to that baby's crying, it is really hard to be able to then communicate that to someone else. An example of this, asking and rather than telling, is when I had my baby. She was about 4 weeks old, and I had a couple of different family events I had to go to. And I was going, and people were holding my baby, and she was getting super overtired and cranky, and people kept walking away with her and trying to calm her down, and then she would just from exhaustion fall asleep. And I really didn't have the heart to say, please give me my baby back, even though I knew that that was what I needed to do. Or please give me my baby back, I'm gonna go now. Because at the end of it, I knew that it was gonna be a meltdown. We'd get home, and it would be an hour of crying because she was so overtired. Then one night, as we were at one of these family events, everyone left after about 4 hours, and I was just feeling exhausted, so emotionally drained. I just wanted to curl up with my baby and go to sleep. And my mother-in-law asked me how I was. Sometimes asking a new mom how they are, you don't know what you're getting into. And when she asked me how I was, I just broke down. I just broke down because I found this balance of making others happy and making my baby happy really hard to learn. And she said, how can I help you in this situation in the future? And we were able to come up with a plan that she was able to ask me in front of other people, hey Anna, do you think it's a good idea for you to take your baby right now? Would you like your baby back right now? Not telling me that I needed to take my baby back, but opening up the conversation that says, oh yes, actually it's probably a good idea if she spends some time with me. And sure enough, it worked really well, and I was able to create some boundaries, and she was able to create respect within the other people who were surrounding me. That was an amazing piece of support for me, because I recognized that I could actually use my baby's grandparents on my team. They were on my team. They were able to help me feel less overwhelmed and asked to have my baby back, and to be able to follow through on the things that I knew my baby needed at that point, and giving me freedom from expectations. The third thing is to show. You want to show enthusiasm, and by the amount of baby things you've probably bought during the pregnancy, you've probably shown pretty good enthusiasm. However, we want to show enthusiasm and encouragement without overwhelming a new mom. Sometimes we can get right up in their space, and so that's when we refer to space. However, so we want to encourage, but also give them space and ask rather than tell them. I was talking to a new mom on the phone the other day, and she was telling me about how her mother-in-law was so excited. She was sure maybe she was excited to look after her baby, but she didn't want to ask. The reason being is this mom was being so incredibly polite that this new mom didn't want to ask her mother-in-law, and actually was contemplating withdrawing from the babysitting arrangement, because the mom seemed a bit like, whatever, wasn't asking questions about like, how best should I put her to sleep? When should I feed her? I'll be here at this time. Not helpful questions to decrease that mom's anxiety about leaving her newborn for the first time. So even though you want to be really polite and kind of give them space and play it cool, moms actually need to see that enthusiasm, that you're excited to be babysitting your grandson or granddaughter. You're excited to welcome them over for dinner. You want to hear about the firsts, because I'm sure you all do. But if you don't show that enthusiasm and you don't welcome it, mom's going to assume, go back to scenario A, where mom withdraws. So those are our 3 points today. We want to give them space, we want to ask and not tell, and we want to show enthusiasm about embracing how that mom has set up her child's life and her parenting experience. It may not be exactly like yours, but it's going to be her unique experience that you can play a unique role in. Grandparenting is one of those things that is extremely special, and so you want to make the most of it as much as possible, and that's how you can do it.